The basic, of course, was our family business. As all my family, since generation, we were cattle dealers. So the plan was, of course, to take over the family company, family business. Even normally I wanted to study biology. Unfortunately, my notes at school were not good enough, so there was a deal: if I can make it, I can study. If not, I have to take over the company. Okay. So, but it comes also to a point that the family business we did till that point had no future. The market changed dramatically, so that there was no demand anymore for a wholesaler between farmers and big slaughteries. So if there's no demand, there's no business. So we had to give up anyway the family business. So then it comes up to the decision that my mother found a very nice school in Hamburg. This school is a special school. You have to work for a company and you study at the same time. The company is paying the school because they develop their own leading manager for the future. It's quite expensive, highly protected, and also high-class teachers. Call it elite school, something like this, which I didn't know, but somehow it works out. So I started to work for the biggest German slaughtery company, and I entered this school in Hamburg. After 2 years, we made a decision because slaughtery is not making marketing, so there was a big part missing. So I changed the company and went to a big German brewery. So after meat, so cattle, meat, I started to make beer. In German, at that time was used that you have to do your to go to the army or you do social service. After the examination, I had to go to the social service. So I went to a small island in Germany. At least for 2 years I was a bird watcher, so at least some biology was still there. So when it comes up to an end of this social service, I had to make a decision what I'm doing now. So I said, look, it seems that it makes sense that I start again to get more education in the direction of sales and marketing. This was beside controlling marketing and sales, more sales. I'm a dealer, I'm a salesman. Was what I was interested in, so I looked for a job as a trainee in sales and marketing, and between IBM, Peek and Kloppenburg, it was Citizen, and finally I made a decision for Citizen. There is no real reason to go to Citizen beside the fact that the sales director was a nice guy, so that was a decision in the end of the day between these three companies. There I was everybody was quite happy with me, so everybody was helping me. So after a very short time, as a trainee, which had the advantage in the end of the day that beside the general manager, I was the only person who was working in all departments of the company. So I was the only guy beside the boss who knows the whole company. It was quite useful in the end of the day. It gives me a lot of information and connection in the big company. I know everybody in the whole story. After training, they sent me out as a sales rep, so I was really on the basic, I was on the street. I really know exactly what goes on. As it was quite successful, I became to be a key account manager, so I got the knowledge about what big customers would like to have, how it works. And then after this, they made me to the brand manager for Europe. So this I also did 2 years with a quite good success, let's say it in this way. And then it comes up to this idea that I thought I can make it better than my boss, let's say it this way. This is always the same story. If you have the feeling that you're better than your boss, you have two possibilities. Either you make it or you keep your mouth. This is how it is. The idea was in the beginning, as I said, we wanted to find in that time in Citizen something which can compete with Swatch at the time. This was the big story. Till Swatch came up, Citizen was the European market leader with approximately market share of nearly 11% all over Europe, always fighting with Junghans and Seiko. So then Swatch came up and they became to be the number one with nearly 20% of the market share at that time in quantity. So we had to think about something. So we had to think about a new concept because we were sure that with just a Me Too product, it becomes difficult to get back to the number one position. In Formula One, you don't make it better if you have just the same car. It's not the story. Huh? So we came up with a new idea by analyzing the existing story, and we analyzed the weak points of something. Every successful story has also weak points. So by finding out the weak points, we came to a solution for these weak points. And we said, look, a stopwatch, as we all have, is a 200 years old concept. Before the stopwatch coming up, if somebody asked for the time, the people made this. Was quite inconvenienced because at that time, you may know the story, it was a military story. If you ride fast, you have your weapon in this hand, and then you have to know the time. This is complicated. This is the reason why they developed a stopwatch. This is how it begins with a stopwatch. So we said, look, this stopwatch has negative things. For example, I personally feel always uncomfortable with a stopwatch. It's like somebody is catching me, time is catching me, so it's a little bit in my head. I also sweat, so I'm not really convenienced with the stopwatch, and we said, look, but the information time, this is all what we need. It's needed. So, but the information time can be everywhere. It's not needed here. So we said, look, we need the information time everywhere where we would like to have it. So, and this is only possible by a glue, so that you can stick them everywhere. So, sticking. The other thing was that we wanted to communicate with the watch. I don't know why, but we wanted to communicate. For me, it was personally totally boring that it's always 12, 1, 2, 3, okay, fine. So, and the other thing is that we saw how they sell watches. Still, so far, everything is always behind glass. You can't buy this type of product. I mean, you can buy a jeans which costs more than a swatch. The jeans you can catch, the swatch is behind glass. So, and if not a salesperson is there, you were unable to buy it. So we said, look, sticking, communication, selling by a machine at any time. This is exactly like a stamp. So the name was born, the design was born, the idea was born. No idea how to produce, no idea about cost, no idea about market potential, just here's an idea, a concept which can solve a lot of things, and it is totally unique. It is a real innovation. The advantage of an innovation is it's new. The disadvantage is, oh, what will happen? So if you go to a bank and ask for money, they look at you and say, yeah, why you don't make just a normal watch? Yeah, because there are thousands of watches already on the market. And then the bank guy from the bank says, yeah, but then therefore we got a proper business plan we can compare with other companies. Yes, this is exactly how it is. So you need something new, but nobody would like to have the risk. So here, this was where it was in the beginning. At that time, we also started with a company which we established in Switzerland, an IT company. With the idea, the program was called Global Product Viewer, and it was 1997. Our idea or problem in Citizen was always that I have all over Europe 50 sales reps. Every salesman had a collection of 7,000 watches. Can you imagine alone the value which is running through the streets to organize this? And I said, look, why we don't have a laptop, because we started already with a laptop, where we can show the product, a global product viewer. So one database, and everybody has always connected with the article number, the product. This was our idea. We also started with that company and we made a lot of presentations, so I showed it to everybody in Germany, BMW, all the big companies. The controlling said, wonderful. The sales said, wonderful idea. The marketing said, excellent. And the IT people said, I don't believe, show me. So I was together with 3 partners, and I said, look guys, we have to make the first customer for free. It doesn't matter. If we have it, it works, it's running. So you have 3 partners, and 2 say, no, we would like to earn money with the first shot. So it never starts, and we closed the company at one day. Said, look guys, there's no sales. So we will always get stuck at the same thing. So this is when you start with partners. So here, global market, global product view is dead, stamps is moving. So it is. My personal experience, and I heard from a lot of people very similar. I had a dramatically strong change in my social life. And that stage, you're a star, you have your income, you have a great income, there's no limit. A lot of very expensive ties, a sports car, you have a lot of free time activities. So in the beginning, there's no change because there's enough money there and everything is excited, and you are even more a star because now it's also your own money in question mark. So after a while, after 1.5 years, the money is more or less gone, and the plans are not really like it was. You start to explain your friends that this weekend you can't go with them. After the 3rd time, they will not call you anymore. Your member card of a very expensive restaurants and clothing shops are gone. You are starting to sell your sports car. You get fat. Your friends losing you because you're not interested anymore. You have no power. A lot of networks based on power. You can call someone. So all this friendship is gone. You also get a problem with your nearest, with your family, because when I met my wife and everything, we started with kids and so on, I was a successful manager. 3 years later, we had a lot of debts, no income, you can't feed the children, socialize becomes difficult. That can also change your family life, honestly. So in the end of the day, at that point, you're changing a lot of things in the negative direction, but on the other side, there are other friends coming up, or the friends who are still keeping this situation, they are the real friends. They don't take care in the end of the day how much money is on their account. Let's say it in this way. So, and also, even I was a very important person in Citizen and with a lot of budgets, this owner of a company, they never took me seriously because they know, I do the same nowadays, it's just a name card. Take him the name card and gone. Tomorrow somebody else is coming. In the moment when I start my company, it's something like welcome in the club of real business. So they started to take me in a totally other way. Serious person, the talk, the speech was changing dramatically. So, and this is the other side of the story. And if you really make it, it's your story. It's not everybody in a big company believes he's a great guy, but let's see how it is. So this changed. Yeah, I'm not unhappy about this, honestly.